There's news, there's sense, and there's nuisance. This show is all about chaos. Total chaos.
मैम, अगर इस पे आप क्लैरिफाई करना चाहें कि आप क्या कहना चाहती थी?
मुझे मेरे घर से मैं बाहर नहीं जा सकती हूँ।
You're gambling with World War III.
अगर ऐसी बेहुदा पब्लिक
यहाँ डेमोक्रेसी खत्म हो गई।
कोई बाबा है, इसको जो है मेंटल हॉस्पिटल जाना चाहिए।
This is going to be great television, I will say that.
और आपको बताएंगे कि भारत में औरंगजेब के इतने फैन क्लब्स क्यों बनते जा रहे हैं।
Aha! Finance Minister Aurangzeb is back in the news.
Lazy journalism.
More on that later. पिछले हफ्ते ट्रंप और ज़ेलेंस्की का फुल ऑन बिग बॉस टाइप शोडाउन हुआ तो हमारी न्यूज वालों ने सोचा कि भाई हम विश्वगुरु हैं, हम सिखाएंगे इनको हाउ टू मेक अ टोटल स्पेक्टिकल ऑफ योरसेल्फ। आईटी बाबा हुआ, शमा मोहम्मद, औरंगजेब, क्या क्या नहीं हुआ। इस सब कलेश के बीच एक इंसान था जिसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा। स्टॉक मार्केट पिटे, ट्रंप का टैरिफ वॉर शुरू हो, इन सज्जन को कोई तकलीफ नहीं हुई।
इस सज्जन को क्या तकलीफ है भाई?
This chill guy, George, not Soros, George of the jungle, he was just having a gala time. He walked among the zebras, fed a giraffe, bonded with a rhino calf. He even observed a submerged hippo. He sat face to face with a golden tiger. He patted an okapi and came face to face with a chimpanzee. He hugged and lovingly played with an orangutan. He released parrots. Am I talking about? No. I am talking about dear Modi ji's visit to Anant Ambani's Vantara Zoo. And I was actually reading news reports describing Modi's visit. Money control just went full North Korea on us. मतलब किम के बारे में भी ऐसी बातें नहीं सुनी होगी जो हमने मोदी जी के बारे में पढ़ लिया है इस हफ्ते मनी कंट्रोल में। PM Modi was also seen doing a high five with the lion. Watch here. Show us, please. This is not a high five. This is a high five. And I don't think you'd be alive to tell the tale if a lion ever high-fived you, even if you're the PM of the country. This is the state of news. न्यूज़ वाले एक दूसरे से compete कर रहे हैं कि कौन कितनी डिटेल्स दे सकता है मोदी जी के जंगल में मंगल की सीरीज का। Just last week, transparency activist Commodore Lokesh Batra, this man who's a legend when it comes to filing RTIs, he filed an RTI demanding how much money was spent on Modi's foreign trips because the government of India uses taxpayers' money for PM's foreign trips. Turns out the Modi government spent 15 crore on just 2 trips to Russia itself in 2024. In PM's Moscow visit in July, the government spent 20 lakh for daily allowances and rupees 1.87 crore for a community reception. So, I'm guessing all those images of the Indian community going gaga over Modi, going Modi, Modi. Apparently 1.87 crore was spent on it. This information came from an RTI and no one picked it up. But Modi high-fiving a lion, that we got to know about everywhere, on every platform. Look, leaders travel abroad to strengthen ties, and of course they'll spend taxpayers' money to do it because it's for the country that they're doing all of this. But these trips for Modi are also PR events for back home, for the home audience.
मोदी मॉस्को में फ्लाइट की सीढ़ियां उतर रहे थे तो चीन पाकिस्तान का ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ रहा था। मोदी ने मॉस्को की जमीन पर कदम रखा तो अमेरिका से लेकर फ्रांस तक की पेशानी पर बल पड़ गए।
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी और राष्ट्रपति पुतिन के बीच पक्की दोस्ती आपको नजर आएगी और दोनों नेताओं को दुनिया बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स की संज्ञा आज दे रही है।
अगर डिप्लोमेसी के बहाने मोदी जी का पीआर भी हो रहा है तो shouldn't we know the price tag of this diplomatic/PR event? छोड़ो यार, वो देखो मोदी जी hugging an orangutan. Not him, editor. You will get us in trouble.
पीएम मोदी जितने कूल इन तस्वीरों में दिख रहे हैं, दुनिया का माहौल इतना कूल अभी है नहीं बॉस.
Now we live in an era of social media where everything is a spectacle. The PM won't just high-five a lion alone. He will have a camera capturing it and he will have people tweeting about it. Everything is crafted for likes, retweets and viral moments. News, politics, even diplomacy. It's all just content now. Basically, a sort of a reality TV scripted for maximum drama and views.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel. You're right now not in a very good position.
By now, all of you know about the Oval Office meeting between Zelensky and top US officials. It was supposed to conclude with two parties signing a deal that would grant US access to rare earth minerals in Ukraine. That did happen, but the entire world's collective jaw dropped when this happened.
You're playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What are you
You're
speaking
gambling
about?
with
What are you
World
speaking
War
about?
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said thank
Even-
you?
Yes, Trump and his Vice President J.D. Vance went after Zelensky saying he's gambling with World War III and that he has not been thankful enough. It was an unprecedented series of events. Zelensky, bichara, was looking like a deer caught in the headlights. The poor guy was so rattled, and even reporters, even the media present there had fun at his expense, taking pot shots at him.
Do you ever? Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do. You own a suit?
Now remember, I said earlier, everything is engineered today to go viral. And Trump gave the game away.
This is going to be great television, I will say that.
That will be great television. That was truly great television with global TRPs. The internet went wild, sharing clips, memes, AI videos all weekend. The deal forgotten, diplomacy out of the window. One thing's for sure. If world leaders keep doing this, we might need to start airing these meetings on Netflix. But more seriously, the Trump era spells complete uncertainty for India. Trump's reciprocal tariffs kick in next month. So looks like there will be no respite for India.
April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth.
What impact will this have on the Indian auto, pharma, textile industry? Fluctuating rupee, trade tensions, like I said, a lot of uncertainty ahead. In all of this, what were our news channels busy doing?
आप अगर पाखंडी है तो भाग जाइए.
कैसे कहा इंडिया हारेगा? किसका एजेंट हो बता तुम? किसका एजेंट हो? कहाँ से तुमको फंडिंग किया जा रहा है?
कुंभ मेला तो खत्म हो गया, लेकिन टीआरपी का मेला वो कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably recognize this guy as IIT Baba. IIT Baba urf Abhay Singh shot to fame during the early days of the Kumbh Mela. He was this super educated IIT guy, Indian version of a monk who gave up his degree to become a sannyasi. Every news channel was interviewing him to understand कि इतना high paying job, इतनी बड़ी डिग्री लेके कोई सन्यासी कैसे बन सकता है. Almost every channel was using his face, his comments and his personal life for clicks and views. News Nation continued this trend by calling IIT Baba to their studio. He was called with the pretense that it will be an interview with some फालतू type questions thrown in.
कहते हैं कि आपके साथ भी ब्रेकअप का एक किस्सा जुड़ा हुआ है. ब्रेकअप के बाद आप अध्यात्म की तरफ आ गए. इसमें कितनी हकीकत है, क्या फसाना है? तो क्या गुण होने चाहिए अर्धांगिनी में जो अभय सिंह को भा जाए?
इस शिव के पार्वती तक की तलाश पूरी हुई या वहां तक पहुंच पाए?
और हर रियलिटी शो की तरह फिर आया एक ट्विस्ट. They called in Hindu धर्म गुरुज to expose IIT Baba.
IIT Baba हुए बेकाबू. धर्म गुरु पर चाय फेंकी। साधु संतों का किया अपमान, IIT बाबा को समाज से मिलेगा सम्मान।
IIT बाबा का तो पता नहीं, बट ये सब देखकर आई डोंट थिंक योर चैनल इज डिजर्विंग ऑफ एनी सम्मान। न्यूज नेशन milked this whole thing. They published more than 50 videos in 3 days with such thumbnails.
स्टूडियो में IIT बाबा का ड्रामा, जमकर किया हंगामा लाइव।
कभी सनातन पर भड़कते हैं, कभी चाय फेंकते हैं। IIT बाबा को क्यों आता है गुस्सा, हुआ खुलासा।
धर्म गुरुओं के सवाल पर क्यों आग बबूला हुए IIT बाबा, फिर स्टूडियो में जो हुआ।
IIT बाबा ने स्टूडियो में खराब किया एंकर का महंगा सूट।
मून लैंडिंग के बाद शायद पहली बार न्यूज नेशन न्यूज में आया विद दिस ड्रामा। नाउ कमिंग टू द हिंदू धर्म गुरुज, और शुड वी कॉल देम अधर्म गुरुज। These sanskari guys who are trying to save Sanatan from abuse by IIT Baba, they did all of this by
कहां से तुमको फंडिंग किया जा रहा है? इसको ट्रीटमेंट का जरूरत है।
ये आदमी जो
सनातन धर्म का बेड़ा कर रहा है, लोग बाबा बना रहे हैं, कोई बाबा है।
ये बिल्कुल आदमी जो के समय में बना दे रहे
हैं। संत का हृदय मक्खन के समान होता है।
By abusing, what better way to preserve our grand ancient culture than with a little bit of गाली-गलौज। ये हैं आज के धर्म गुरुज, कल युग के धर्म गुरुज, जिनकी बातें इतनी मधुर हैं, इतनी स्वीट हैं कि लाइव टेलीविजन पे इनको बीप करना पड़ता है।
तुम क्या करो, पाकिस्तान का एजेंट है, तुमने क्या, तुम्हें ज्योतिष का जान पता है?
धर्म गुरुओं ने संत होने पर उठाया सवाल, तो IIT बाबा ने मचाया बवाल।
धर्म गुरु ने IIT बाबा पे उठाया सवाल और IIT बाबा ने मचाया बवाल। लेट्स डू एन एक्सपेरिमेंट। I'll let you guys decide. इन सब सज्जनों में से कौन बवाल मचा रहा है? The guy sitting down with his head in his hands, or the people shouting, किसका एजेंट हो तुम?
किसका एजेंट हो बता तुम? किसका एजेंट हो?
You decide.
कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रही है, हमें हमारे संपर्क पे के समय में बना दे रहे हैं।
इस प्रकार से इसने उठा करके और चाय गरम फेंका है। ये भगवान ये संत के लक्षण है? ये संत के लक्षण है? ये संत के लक्षण है?
क्या होते हैं संत के लक्षण? Is shouting like a maniac and hurling abuses at someone a good lakshan for a sant? What about Yati Ma Chetanand Saraswati? This woman in the front. She's known for making hate speeches against Muslims, calling them necrophiliacs, rapists, whatnot. इनकी संतगिरी इतनी पावन है, इतनी पवित्र है कि YouTube ने भी इनका वीडियो हटा दिया है for hate speech. Then comes this guy.
तुम क्या करो, पाकिस्तान का एजेंट है, तुमने क्या, तुम्हें ज्योतिष का जान पता है?
This guy who's calling IIT Baba a Pakistani agent, his biggest claim to fame is doing aarti for Donald Trump for his re-election. ये प्राणी धर्म गुरु है and he's kind of obsessed with IIT Baba because News Nation में गालियां देने के बाद ये Times Now भी पहुंच गया और गाली देने के लिए।
आपने कोई अध्ययन नहीं किया, कि शास्त्रों का ज्ञान नहीं है, वेदों का ज्ञान नहीं है, एक श्लोक नहीं जानते, आप बाबा बन गए।
क्यों भाई? अगर तुम बाबा बन सकते हो तो कोई भी बाबा बन सकता है। Obviously, this cartoon and this hate monger are just probably jealous of IIT Baba for getting all the views, all the hits and all the attention, and they want the same. They are using religion to justify their hunger for cheap publicity. None of them have actually anything to do with spirituality, and none of these channels really care about anything other than hits and views.
ये तो फरेब होता है सर, फरेब।
I can't believe that I'm going to say this, but in all of this tamasha, the only person who had any sort of sensible take was Arnab.
You blame the media or IIT Baba. I blame the media. The media is looking for these kind of stories. And then you make a media sensation out of him. then you want to use him, then you want to drop him like a hot potato, then you want to have him arrested. God knows what's going on.
I don't say this usually, but I do agree with Arnab here. The media made him into an internet sensation with video after video about him because he was going viral on the internet. Then you start asking him questions कि भाई बाबा मैच में क्या होगा बताओ, यहाँ क्या होगा वो बताओ, वहाँ क्या होगा ये बताओ, थोड़ी भविष्यवाणी दो. And after having built him up, they are now trying to expose him as some fake sant by calling these dharam ke naam pe kalank gurus. Arnab, though, your point would have had more substance if your own channel was not doing the same thing.
महाकुंभ में IIT वाले बाबा का धमाकेदार डांस.
After making some sense on one segment, Arnab was like, "बहुत हो गया यार sense. Let me do some new sense."
If Rahul Gandhi were a cricketer, he would walk out to 3 ICC finals, T20, ODI, Champions Trophy, only to score a golden duck every single time. Rahul Gandhi, on the other side, has scored 3 consecutive golden ducks in the assembly elections in Delhi. There is no comparison.
Now, to give you some context on why Arnab is comparing Rohit Sharma's statistics with Rahul Gandhi, that was primetime news this week. He was doing this because national spokesperson, Congress's national spokesperson, Shama Mohammed, called the India team captain as fat and unimpressive. फिर क्या था? All hell broke loose in the world of TV news. Arnab found another excuse to go after his arch nemesis, Rahul Gandhi.
I think the person who is incompetent and who deserves to be thrown out of his team is Rahul Gandhi. He's always out on a duck party, duck leader. If Rahul Gandhi was a batsman, his average would be like 1 or 2. And he's 54 years old, 55 actually, and he's had no success in life. And Rohit Sharma is 37, he's a self-made man. Rahul Gandhi is just a, good-for-nothing political dynast. He's a political duck.
Okay, we got it. You wanted to make a pun with duck. Not just Arnab. Everyone went batshit on Shama after she had clearly said कि भाई ये मेरे personal views हैं.
मेरी पार्टी को इसके अंदर मत लेके आओ ना, मेरी पार्टी का नाम मत लेके आओ, ये मेरा व्यक्तिगत बयान है. एक किसी का फिटनेस के बारे में वो मैं फिट हूँ, मैं बस उसकी फिटनेस के बारे में बोला.
I am fit, so I called someone fat. शमा जी, ये पर्सनल व्यूज आपको बिल्कुल पर्सनल रखने थे. So personal that no one should have heard it. But the point is, these were her personal views. Congress and Rahul had nothing to do with it. So it made no sense for reporters to chase her all over her house for a personal view. Just like this guy's view. This guy's views had nothing to do with these guys laughing behind him. He was not suspended for saying this to a Muslim MP.
उग्रवादी बोलने भी दुआ कभी खड़ा होगा, ये बता रहा हूँ. उग्रवादी.
But guess what? A Muslim MLA this week did get suspended for saying this.
सब गलत हिस्ट्री दिखाई जा रही है. औरंगजेब रहमतुल्लाह अलैह ने बहुत सारी मंदिरें बनवाई हैं.
तो आप औरंगजेब को क्रूर शासक नहीं मानते हैं?
नहीं, मैं नहीं मानता. ये जो है उस वक्त लड़ाई थी, राजकाज की लड़ाई थी. समझा आपने? कोई हिंदू मुस्लिम की लड़ाई नहीं थी. एक इंसाफ पसंद बादशाह था वो.
शमा मोहम्मद के पीछे पड़ने के बाद सारे चैनल्स लग गए अबू आजमी के पीछे.
औरंगजेब 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 औरंगजेब
औरंगजेब एक औरंगजेब की फैन क्लब है सुधांशु त्रिवेदी आजकल जो बनी हुई है औरंगजेब फैन क्लब.
औरंगजेब के चाहने वालों की संख्या बढ़ रही है.
औरंगजेब के कुछ फैन जो औरंगजेब को नायक मानते हैं, औरंगजेब को नायक मानने वालों की आवाज भी सुनाई दे रही है.
मतलब जो औरंगजेब ना अपने भाई का हो सका ना अपने बाप का हो सका, उस औरंगजेब को अपना बताने की होड़ लगी हुई.
समाजवादी पार्टी के विधायक अबू आजमी ने कहा कि औरंगजेब एक क्रूर शासक नहीं था और उसने तो कई मंदिरों का भी निर्माण करवाया था.
औरंगजेब की वजह से भारत सोने की चिड़िया बना. भाई ये थ्योरी देने लगे.
इनफैक्ट व्यूअर्स, इंडिया ब्लॉक इज रैलीड अराउंड अबू आजमी.
विपक्ष के कुछ नेता औरंगजेब को आक्रांता मानने को क्यों तैयार नहीं है? क्या वो जानबूझकर आक्रमणकारी, अत्याचारी मुगल शासकों और देश के आम मुस्लिम लोगों में अंतर करना नहीं जानते या चाहते?
और ये औरंगजेब फैन क्लब है, दे आर बेसिकली एंटी हिंदू पीपल. एंटी हिंदू, हिंदुओं की नफरत करते हैं.
Is it secular to shield a Hindu hater, eulogize him?
Now let's leave aside Abu's love for Aurangzeb or your hate for Aurangzeb. The fact is that wars back then weren't about Hindus and Muslims. And he's right when he says that. Sambhaji, in fact, had once allied with Aurangzeb and he was given a title by Aurangzeb and then he turned against him. Religion was a feature in all of this, but it wasn't the sole driving force all the time. It's a fact of history that the Mughals and the Rajputs were allies. The Marathas bravely resisted the Mughals, but guess who were part of this resistance? Siddhi Hilal, Ibrahim Khan, Qazi Haider. A full-on battalion of Muslim soldiers who gave the battle cry of Ya Ali before they attacked Mughals. Meanwhile, Aurangzeb had many Hindu mansabdars. Mansabdars were responsible for military and civil administration. They were granted land, called jagirs, in exchange for their salaries. They were responsible for maintaining troops for the empire. They commanded armies in the name of the emperor. 30% of Aurangzeb's mansabdars were Hindus. Rajputs like Rana Raj Singh of Mewar, Raja Jai Singh of Amber, and later Maharaja Jaswant Singh of Marwar all supported Aurangzeb. That doesn't make Aurangzeb secular. Just like having a Muslim spokesperson doesn't make the BJP secular. But look, here's the thing, Aurangzeb didn't have to be secular. He was a king who used religion selfishly for his own goals. He was not a proto-Taliban or ISIS-style fundamentalist, nor did he treat all Hindus equally. So history is complex and it can be a lot of fun when you engage with it. It wasn't this neat Hindu versus Muslim thing all the time. Just like Shama attacking Rohit was not a Hindu-Muslim issue or a thing, although Maushmi of Aaj Tak did try to make it so.
VHP कह रही है कि पाकिस्तान को हराया इंडिया ने, इसलिए शमा मोहम्मद इस तरह की बात कर रही है.
Is there anything more corrupt in the mainstream media here?
विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी, पाकिस्तान हार गई इसीलिए तो नहीं दुख हो रहा. पब्लिक पूछ रही है, मैं नहीं पूछ रही.
Pakistan डाल दो just because a Muslim said something. Vivek Srivastav called her out on the exact same thing and guess Navika's response.
एक तो महिला, ऊपर से मुसलमान और ऊपर से केरल की, तो पाकिस्तान तो आप जोड़ेंगे ही ना उनके नाम के साथ. जब तक आप ये नहीं करेंगे तब तक बीजेपी वालों का एजेंडा बढ़ेगा.
मैंने बार-बार बोला है ये पब्लिक का सवाल है और आपके लिए.
Navika, Amit Malviya is not the public and not all public is Amit Malviya. Believe it or not, the public has better questions to ask.
और जो भी पब्लिक है तो आप मत पूछिए इस सवाल को. अगर ऐसी बेहुदा पब्लिक है,
यहाँ डेमोक्रेसी खत्म हो गई.
क्या ही बोलूं अब मैं. There's literally a trade war facing the world and India will be impacted. And we are discussing Shama's comments and kings from like 1,000 years ago as news. Now, if you're truly interested in the history of India and its many fascinating aspects, then I will suggest Junk TV News and Junk WhatsApp Forwards. On News Laundry, we have two great conversations on history. One on the mighty Chola kings and the other on the wonder that was Nalanda. In one of these interviews, Anirudh actually had something very interesting about how we should be engaging with history. Do listen to it.
This inability to think of medieval people with nuance, to think of them as people, but rather we are constantly inflicting this profound violence on them by insisting that they should fit only to our modern political
agendas.
Yeah? It is such a reductive way of thinking about the past, and it's very ironic to me as a public historian. This is happening most often from the people who claim to be restoring some idea of historical pride. I don't think that historical pride should simply mine the entire past for feel-good points in a very brief political context. I think if you want to have historical pride, the least you can do is respect your ancestors as people. Respect the world they lived in as complex and accept that it is not going to fit into our boundaries. I think that this growing intolerance, this growing historical illiteracy, this formation of historical opinions based on extremely simple, conveniently misinterpreted facts which are repeated endlessly by this media ecosystem is a sign of a larger inability for us to think in complex and nuanced ways. And for citizens of our democracy, it's, I think, a considerable failing on our part.
Both these great interviews and conversations on the history of India are behind the paywall. If you want to enrich yourself, if you want to learn something new, if you want to engage with the past in a positive way, then do tune in to both these interviews. I'm sure you'll learn a lot and I'm sure it'll be fascinating for you. Like I said, these interviews are behind the paywall. You have to subscribe to News Laundry, take a subscription, On News Laundry, if you are watching this nuisance show, you can get a subscription for 2 weeks for as less than 99 rupees. मतलब 99 rupees में आप हमको सपोर्ट भी कर सकते हो. 99 rupees में आप बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशंस भी सुन सकते हो. You have access to all our paywall content. So please scan this QR code right now that's flashing on your screen. Choose the cheapest amount, 99 rupees. That's it. 99 rupees, 2 weeks of subscription and ढेर सारा infotainment, information and news. So do subscribe to News Laundry, support our work. Like I've told you before, we are completely ad free. We don't take ads from anyone. So we will not do long shows on Jungle Mein Mangal. We will not do long shows on Aurangzeb ne kya bola, Shama Mohammed ne kya bola. We'll get you real news, things that matter to you, and we're able to do that because our allegiance is not towards hits and clicks that help get revenue on YouTube. Our allegiance is to good, credible information, clarity on anything that's happened around you, and to really serve public interest. Support News Laundry. Need I say more?